Karen Barlow reporting. Motorbikes are one of the most popular ways of getting around in Indonesia. With the country's economy on the rise, young people now have access to credit and they're buying motorbikes by the million. But with such freedom comes the risk of accidents and of people failing to manage their debt. Amy Bainbridge reports from Bandung.
They're everywhere. 65 million motorcycles across Indonesia. Motorcycle sales are booming, with more than 7 million new bikes sold last year.
In the last decade, starting year 2000 and up to 2011, the motorcycle market in Indonesia is growing tremendously, with the compounded annual growth rate at 22.5%.
The proliferation of motorcycles has brought enormous social change in this country. People are now more mobile, able to travel for work and make the most of cheap fuel and their newfound freedom.
I'm going everywhere with the motorbike because the public transportation is in here. It's very sucks, you know. It's very sucks because it's not comfortable, then it's not fast, and it's more cheap when you buy a motorbike.
Kalau saya pribadi dengan adanya motor saya ini.
Personally, the motorcycle has helped me a lot. Before, I used to have to take 2 modes of public transport to get to work. But nowadays, with only 10,000 rupiah, I can use my motorcycle for a whole day and go everywhere. So it's cheaper and a lot faster.
But there's a deadly downside to having more people than ever on the road.
There are some surgery that you can...
Dr. Nasser Budi is an orthopaedic surgeon in Bandung, and he's seen an alarming increase in accidents.
The most common is a musculoskeletal injury. It's involving the extremities and also sometimes with the multiple trauma with the head injury.
Official figures from one motorcycle company show there were 110,000 accidents involving motorbikes on Indonesian roads last year.
In my hospital, it's about 3 until 5 injuries every day, each day, caused by the motorcycle injury.
I'm very concerned with the number of accidents that happen on the road with motorcycles. There are a lot of reasons, but the one that is of most concern is that sometimes children at the age of 10 or 12 are given motorcycles by their parents. They don't know how to ride properly or even the road rules, the regulations, and they do not wear the safety riding gear.
There's one motorbike to every 4 Indonesians. Still, finance companies say there's plenty more growth to come in the market, but with more motorbikes on the roads comes the risk of even more accidents. There are calls for stricter law enforcement and better rider training.
They're not fully alert that it's like a killing machine. They're riding a killing machine.
Kampanye safety riding.
The main thing to do is a lot more campaigns and awareness about safety riding, what you need to do on the road and the regulations. We're also working with the regional police to campaign for safe riding.
The average cost of a motorcycle is about $1,500, with most loans lasting 3 years. But not everyone finds it easy to repay debt. At the end of last year, the government introduced new rules enforcing a 20% down payment to buy a motorcycle. Still, some riders say there are plenty of people who can't repay their loans.
50-50.
It's 50-50. 50% paying off and 50% not. I have a friend who works for a leasing company. His leasing company would sell off second-hand motorbikes for more than 10s and 20s every month. That's from people who can't settle their loans.
There are people I know who still have their old bike, but because of the prestige, they would take out credit for a new bike and put themselves into financial trouble because they want the new bike.
The non-performing loans in the industry now is improving quite good. The non-performing loan in our portfolio for the delinquency more than 60 days is less than 2%.
Already roads here are choking with traffic, even in cities outside the capital, Jakarta. Indonesians enjoy some of the cheapest fuel in Asia, thanks to hefty government subsidies. The subsidies are heavily eating into the government's bottom line, and there's been sporadic talk about reducing the amount.
If the government did pull the fuel subsidies, a lot of my friends in my motorcycle community would be very badly affected because the members of my community are mostly university students.
By having the GDP per capita, income per capita now is quite increasing, so in the long run we would say that the customers should be able to adjust their income as well as their expense, because the fuel subsidy, we would say in the long run, is not healthy for the government to always give the subsidy.
For now, millions of Indonesians are still taking to the streets on motorcycles, a boom that appears unlikely to end anytime soon.
Amy Bainbridge in Bandung, and that is all for now. I'll be back at the same time tomorrow with another edition of Newsline in Seoul. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Middleton. Bye for now.